Hey guys, and welcome to the WTFarm Girl channel. And this next mini-series of videos, we're going to go through hay season 2019 first cutting here in Michigan. It's going to be all the drama and stream of thoughts as they occur. So this is going to be a little more true to life, a little more putting you in the seat next to me in the tractor as the crap goes down. So I hope you enjoy this next mini-series. Alright, we are going to head some hay today. I'm actually planning to do it twice today. We are on a very limited time crunch. I got done cutting at like 11 o'clock, just after 11 last night. So the hay doesn't have a whole lot of time to dry through the night. But I think that cutting it at a taller height will help it dry faster because it's got more air underneath it. We'll see. So it's going to use a lot of tractor gas, unfortunately, but we are due for rain on Monday, and we've got everybody lined up to help out on Sunday. So Sunday, probably noon, is going to be when I go through and bale. I'll probably rake, I'm hoping, 10 o'clock and then bale at noon. So that's going to be a lot of back-to-back work. What else was I going to say? So here's our tedder. It's a 2-basket tedder. It's a coon. But tedders here in Michigan were really hard to find. At the time, this was the perfect size for us because, one, we rarely ever tedder hay, only if it gets rained on or we're in a time crunch like right now. Two, we were using the John Deere, which, you know, is only so big. Now we've upgraded to the New Holland, and this thing is just like an earring on the back of it, basically. So it's gonna bounce around. But tedding is probably the easiest job for making hay because you don't have to be perfect about it. As long as you're not rerunning over what you just headed, you'll be fine. So we're just gonna scatter the hay all up and take it from there. Yeah, this is not looking good, guys. It's 7:30 right now, and this line of storms is probably gonna hit us about noon, which is about when we're gonna be bailing. Definitely saying lots of prayers at this point.
It's gonna be bad, right?
Yeah. Alright, so it's a tough call. I just checked the radar again, and it's going to be really close. And you see that where it says Grand Rapids? That county right there, you see that highway that's right out of Grand Rapids going northward? We are towards the upper part of that area, like right up there. So the storm could potentially just miss us. See that green and yellow? It's either gonna just miss us or it's gonna totally hit us. So here are my options. I can ted the field. It takes about 2 hours to ted the hay field. In 2 hours, I'll figure out instantly what it's going to be doing, because in 2 hours that storm will be here. Now, if the storm hits again and my hay is tedded on the ground, it's pretty much going to pummel it into the ground. It's going to be very hard to collect it again. The more times it gets rained on, the harder it is to salvage. If you rake your hay into big rows, it doesn't get annihilated quite as bad. It's still going to get wet, but it's not going to be just like smashed into the ground. So you'll still have to go through and ted it again and then re-rake it. So that would be 2 extra passes on the field. Or do I just go through and ted it right now and hope that it passes by, give it time to dry, and then rake it? If the storm hits us again and my hay is raked up on the field into rows, then probably tomorrow morning I can go back through and scatter it back out with the tedder, and just so it just looks like this again, except it won't be that pretty. It'll be a lot uglier. Let it dry for a full day, go through, rake it again, and then bale it. But we're not going to have anybody on hand to help with hay in the loft, because all of the people Eric had scheduled to help had Sunday off. Everybody's got to work Monday, including Eric. So I'm pretty much going to be on my own trying to figure out how to do this, because it's definitely a multi-person job, at least at the barn. It's officially the worst case scenario right now. Officially. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, other worst case scenario would be like non-stop rain for the next week and the hay is just toast. Then you just have to run a lawnmower over it and just, you know, grind it up and throw it back into the ground. I mean, I'm thankful that it's only 10 acres. And, you know, we are not the only ones with this issue. There were people cutting hay Saturday. There were people cutting hay Friday. There were people cutting hay yesterday. Every single hay farmer in Michigan right now is facing the exact same dilemma. It's not just us. There were people that haven't cut hay, but a lot of people have. A lot of people have. So pretty much all of us are going to have the same rained on hay, And there's actually not very many hay farmers in Michigan that have tedders. Like, we started telling other hay farmers that we had bought a tedder, and they looked at us like we were nuts. Like, why would you want a tedder? You don't need a tedder unless it gets rained on, and that doesn't happen very often. Well, so I am glad that we do have the tedder, but I gotta figure out what my plan of attack is gonna be. I think I'm gonna wait it out just a few more minutes, check the radar again, and then just make the best call that I can make. Oh. So I just got the hay rake out here. I was just getting ready to adjust everything. Eric called and said he doesn't want me to rake the field because he's worried that if I rake it, we're not going to be able to ted it back out again because this rake rolls the grass. I said, why not give it a try, because we haven't tried it before. I mean, my thoughts are if you leave it out here and it keeps getting rained on, it's gonna really destroy the grass, versus if you put it in row. Yeah. All right, so we are back in the cab of the tractor today, and it has finally stopped raining. It finally stopped at like 12 o'clock. I ate some lunch, and I'm back out here. So here's where you guys get to place your bets. Now, we were expecting to get anywhere from 700 to 1,000 bales of hay, about 50-pound bales, off this field. How many bales of hay do you think we're going to get? Now, it's a 10-acre field, and again, we were estimating about 700 to 1,000, just based off the fact that it was thicker than we'd had it before. This is first cutting, and it is orchard grass mixed with a bunch of other stuff that grew in there unintentionally. Second question. How do you think the hay is going to come out? Do you think it will dry? Do you think we will be able to bale it and have it still be decent quality that the horses will eat it? And lastly, so it's like a three-part question. Lastly, how do you think the nutrition is going to fare? Now, unfortunately, it takes a while to get the nutritional analysis back on the hay. But if you have a company online that you would highly recommend and you have a web link, put it in the comments down below. I'll check them out. I really would like you guys to know, just like I want to know, how did this turn out? I know there's a lot of people that have gone up and down, backwards and forwards about rained on hay. The worst case scenario is rained on bales. If your bales get rained on, there's no turning back. Those are going to mold. Especially squares. Not so much with browns. A lot of people don't care if browns get rained on. So when I have situations like this arise, where you've got one of your worst case scenarios happening, I try to play the what could be worse game. Okay, this sucks. It is really bad. What could be worse? Okay, let's go through this. What could be worse? We could have a really sparse hayfield that got rained on, which would mean like same amount of work, same amount of money put into it, but less money to possibly earn off from it, and a greater loss of profit. What could be worse? We could have gone through and baled all the hay, like back when we used to do it, when we had bales on the field, and those could have all gotten rained on. Let's see, other worst case scenario. Another worst case scenario is the field is mostly weeds and there wasn't that much hay to begin with. So then you'd pretty much be baling up weeds. Okay, so there's not too many other worst case scenarios other than what has already happened. But it could always be worse. Putting everything into perspective. So again, in a nutshell, pretty much when I cut Thursday, they weren't calling for rain until Monday, Tuesday. So, alright, with that said, let's go down there and check the field. See, it's been beaten down to the ground pretty good. It's like down in there. It's still really green. That's good. But it's gonna be on the field longer. I think one other factor that played into our benefit, if this had taken a long time, like 7 days to dry, and then it got rained on, and be in a lot worse shape. So we'll go through and tet it, shake the water off. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be dry enough to bale. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can be alerted for all the new videos in this series. Here are some exciting clips of the next video coming up. Enjoy. See right here, there's water and it comes all the way over to there. So this is all gonna have to get scooped off. Okay, so Eric is furious right now. I have no way to do this now.